Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist outsmarts themselves. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, share, and pay it forward to someone who could use this educational content. So I'll jump right in. How the narcissist outsmarts themselves. There are many ways they do this, but I'll tell you one way. Let's take a friendship as an example. You are friends with an individual, perhaps for a long period of time, who is consistently taking from you. They're consuming your energy, your time, your money, resources, all the things I mentioned in the channel. And you keep on giving to a fault, perhaps because you are a people pleaser, perhaps because you have a high level of empathy, or you love the person, you care about them. They're a good friend. They've been around there with you for a long period of time. Well, first of all, the length of any relationship should not dictate how loyal you are to an individual. Meaning, if you've been in a relationship, a friendship with somebody your whole life, but that relationship you just figured out is a toxic relationship, or it's a relationship where you are giving and giving and giving, and the other individual is doing nothing but receiving, well, then you really need to weigh your options there. Do you want to stay in that relationship? By no means am I suggesting just blow up or end any relationship of 10, 20, 30, 50 years. What I'm suggesting is really take stock of the relationships that you are a part of. In this circumstance, I'm talking about a friendship. If this alleged friend is there for you to pick you up, to give you a car ride, to pay your bill when you need help, to be there as a support system when perhaps things aren't going the way you want them to help you grieve the loss of a family member, to just check in on you even though you didn't ask them to. In other words, to be a trusting, loyal friend, well, then that's a good person. At least that's my hope. Friendships on this planet should be reciprocal. There should be no expectation. You should be doing things because you want to do them for the other individual, and vice versa. Now, in a narcissistic friendship, again, as I mentioned earlier, maybe this person you're thinking about, a friend of a long time, or maybe even only a few months, you're starting to put the dots together. You're starting to connect the pieces of the puzzle, and you're realizing this person is not there for me. They actually are becoming unavailable whenever I need them, but yet when they want me to loan them money or give them a ride to the store or the airport, I'm the number one person to call. Why do you think that is? Well, I'll tell you a few reasons why. One, probably because you can't say the strongest word no in the English language. And when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself, and you're conserving your energy. I mention that very frequently on the channel. But number two is probably because you haven't put the pieces together, that this person is just trying to consume your energy, your time, and your money. And they most likely don't have your best interest at heart. Yes, you may think they do, but really take stock of the individual you are thinking about. Do they check in on you? Are they asking you how you're doing? Are they buying you a lunch every now and again? Are they saying, hey, I think that you and I could do this. This would be a great idea. Maybe we do A, B, and C. Or are they just waiting for you to say things to them and they jump on your ship? In other words, you just got a promotion or a pay raise. Now the narcissist, this alleged friend, knows that you have more money. Well, are they reaching out to you immediately and saying that they're 5 months back on their credit card bills and they can't pay their cell phone bill? Well, if that's the case, red flag city. I would really slow down. On the planet, more than ever now, there are a lot of takers. There are people that will look to disrupt other people's energy and to take their money, their time, their resources, to work on their empathy, to work on their character. Because why? Because that's the world we live in these days, unfortunately. With the advent of the internet and the smartphone, things have escalated on our planet in the last 30 years, unlike any other period of time, which means information is now at the tip of your fingertips. It's the information age times 1,000. Colleges, universities, high schools, yes, do we need them? Absolutely. But you can learn many things from your smartphone if you have patience and if you are dedicated and you set time aside to learn virtually the same things you can learn at any school level. Not all, but any. That is what I'm sharing with you. Now, why I said that is because the people that want to take away from you, they're getting wise too, wiser as well. In other words, they're trying to figure out new ways to extract your energy from you, your time, money, energy, everything I say. But eventually, all these people, i.e. the narcissist specifically, they will overplay their hand. And what will happen is they will be discovered. They will be found out. Now, do we want to call out the poor behavior and shout it from the mountaintops? Absolutely not. What we want to do is slowly remove ourselves from these relationships. Just like when you entered the narcissistic relationship, the relationship probably started at lightning speed. Maybe you relocated or they relocated or you got married in under a year or you had kids quickly or you went into business or loaned them money, etc. I get that. But after that first initial period of time when the narcissist knew that they had you, that's when they began to really outsmart themselves, because that's when they began to devalue you. And when they are devaluing you each and every day insidiously, you can't put your finger on it because you're entering or existing in the narcissistic fog. You're not living in the present day or the present moment. You are existing in the narcissistic fog, which is not a good place to be. But again, pay attention here, pivotal part for the video. The narcissist does not know how to lay off the gas. They do not know that. They know one thing: full speed or no speed, black or white, good or bad. That's exactly how they live their lives. So once the narcissist knows that they have you, in other words, perhaps you profess the 3 magic words, I love you, to the narcissist, well, now they know that they have you, at least for a period of time, until either A, they overplay their hand, or B, you figure them out, or again, C, you stay in that narcissistic zombie-like trance-like state, the fog. That's not where you want to be. That's the last place you want to be, because when you're there, you're not doing anything but becoming and or have become an extension of the narcissist. You don't think for yourself, you don't act for yourself. Everything you do puts the narcissist way up high in the pedestal, and you're living for them. You're trying to appease them, you're trying to please them, you're trying to get fake little bits of the love bomb / euphoric stage from them, maybe once a month, maybe once every year, who knows. But the narcissist knows this is where they have placed you. But again, each and every narcissistic relationship, the narcissist overplays their hand eventually, because they think you're never going to figure them out. They think you're not smart enough. They think that you won't put 2 and 2 together. They think that you will continue to tolerate the poor behavior. They think you will be continuing to give to a fault. And I'm telling you right now, firsthand experience, eventually, number one, everyone on the planet reveals themselves in time. Every single one of us. Please play that message. Everyone. Number 2, the narcissist who wears a mask many times, they too, they know that the mask gets cumbersome, and they too will reveal themselves. It's just a matter of time. Now, when you are trapped in that narcissistic fog, I can assure you, the narcissist mask slipped many times. The thing is, you weren't powerful enough, you weren't strong enough to recognize it. You just put it off as poor behavior. In other words, you came home one night, experienced a rage fit, and you got the silent treatment for 3 days in a row, and you chalked it up to that, oh, that's just them being them. No, that's not the case. The case is, you did not know back then what you know now, that your spouse and or partner or whomever you're thinking about was and or is a narcissist. You didn't know it. You didn't have the wisdom. You hadn't found my channel yet. You did not have that first light bulb moment. Now you're getting the education on my channel. You're coupling your experience with the wisdom you're acquiring, and you're understanding, wait, that behavior, not only was it poor and I shouldn't have tolerated it, but that drained me. That drained my bank account. That drained my emotional stability. I lost friends because wedges were driven between myself and all the friends in the support network that I had. I couldn't sleep at night, or I was oversleeping. I gained weight or I lost weight. I developed hair rashes or skin rashes. I developed other medical concerns that I never had before. Why do you think all those things happened during the relationship with the narcissist when they had never happened before? That's right, because you were not in a narcissistic relationship. Your energy was being conserved and reserved for yourself and for those people you cared about and wanted to help. Lo and behold, along comes the narcissist, and boom, they see you, they enter a relationship with you under any circumstances. Like I said, maybe it's a spouse, friendship, member of a community or organization that you're a part of, who knows, neighbor, coworker. But when that happened, they pressed the gas, and they wanted to press the gas as fast as they possibly could to get as much from you as they possibly can. When they did that, because they don't know how to lay off the gas, they usually overplay their hand. And what that means is they usually do something so out of line that it breaks the relationship, or that you're like, wait, I put up with a lot, but that thing, I'm not tolerating that. No way, I'm out. And when you do that and you put up a boundary and or you remove yourself from the relationship, this, number one, it may cause a narcissistic injury. That's not what this video is about. I don't care about the narcissistic injuries at all. That's for other channels. What I care about is you, and you living your best life, and you cutting free from these toxic relationships. I care about you first and foremost, and you should care about yourself rather than be thinking about the narcissist. But the point being, the narcissist always overplays their hand. It's just a matter of time when they do it, and B, if you can identify it. Because again, like I'm telling you, maybe you're in the marriage for 20 years, let's put it that way, and you've tolerated the poor behavior for 20 plus years, and you can't quite put your finger on it. You can't quite wrap your head around what's going on with your spouse. And then someone sends you one of my videos, and lo and behold, you're like, wait a minute, that's what Andrew's saying, that's what I'm experiencing. Oh my gosh, that too? And then all of a sudden you're getting a flurry of light bulb moments, and you're recognizing that you are in a toxic relationship, a relationship where you are expected to wait on hand and foot to your spouse, where you're expected to work at a 9-to-5 job and then have a side job and then cook and clean in the evening and then fill up the gas tank, take care of the kids, and you have no time for yourself, while the narcissist is sitting around on a lazy boy with a spaghetti stained white t-shirt doing nothing but barking out orders. Think about what I'm sharing with you. The narcissist always overplays their hand in every relationship possible. Think about children who grew up under the household of a narcissist, mom or dad or both. Well, a couple things could happen there. I will only talk about one. I will talk about the one child, perhaps the scapegoat, the one who was getting most of the abuse, let's say, not the adoration. They were the fall person. They were getting each and every day, whatever they did wasn't good enough. Straight A's wouldn't make it. If they got into the best university, it wasn't good enough. If they had the boyfriend or the girlfriend, the most beautiful or intelligent person on the planet, wasn't good enough. This person was always going to be playing second fiddle in the eyes of their parents. What happens eventually? I will tell you what happens eventually. Not always, but at times. Is that young child, who now, let's say, is a young adult, they've deduced by now that something's wrong with one of their parents and or perhaps both of their parents. And what do they decide to do eventually? They decide to run for the hills. They decide to move far away and go no contact, or at least gray rock from their parents. Why? Because they've now realized with their own experiences, and they've seen other people's experiences in their own peer group or age group that are not treated and or weren't treated like they were, that something's off with their family. Maybe one of their spouses or both, parents or both. Maybe it's even a sibling, who knows? But they deduce rather quickly that, hey, if I want to exist on this planet, I need to do me. I can't be pleasing other people, which means my narcissistic parents or parent or my siblings who are trying to take away from me. I need to be treated properly when I would go home for, let's say, a holiday dinner. But instead, my job is to, let's say, drive 300 miles to get home for a Christmas dinner or holiday dinner, and I'm being treated as if I never left the house. And I have to shovel snow, and I have to clean the dishes and set the table, and I have to tolerate poor behavior and being told how I don't have the best clothes or how I don't look right or how that university's not good. When you hear this over and over and over again, you eventually get the message. There's only two ways this is going to go. One is you stay subject to the narcissist. In other words, you continue to listen to their false narrative and you continue to get beaten down whenever you communicate with, let's say, your parents. Or two, you understand your parents have some concerns. You're not a doctor. Maybe you are, who knows? But the point is, you're not going to diagnose them. What you're going to do is you're going to remove yourself, and you're going to limit your exposure to their contact, because they don't build you up. They tear you down. They didn't give you the fundamentals for building a great life. They taught you nothing. They didn't teach you morals or right from wrong. They showed you what poor behavior was. This list goes on and on and on. So eventually the narcissist always overplays their hand. And I will tell you something firsthand. Again, the aging narcissist, an individual who perhaps is on their deathbed, or perhaps is just getting older and they have more grays than whatever their hair color used to be, or a person who thinks that they're 20 years old when in fact they're decades older, or a person who's trying to fit in with the younger crowd when they have no business doing so. But these people, they're clinging on to their past, to their youth, when in fact they did look the best, they did have the best clothes, and everyone looked up to them. Now, time's gone by, and they don't want to admit that Father Time has ticked. And that what do they see in the mirror? They see a 20-year-old version of themselves when perhaps everyone else sees a much older version of them. But those people, the aging narcissists, do not improve. They get worse over time because they believe they're entitled. They always twist their narrative into making themselves feel better than you. Any communication with these kind of individuals will not benefit you. There are so many different layers to this, but what you need to understand, the narcissist will always overplay their hand. Romantic setting, financial resources, kids, neighbors, communities, whatever it is, the word will get out eventually about these toxic individuals. And I will share a little pro tip for you. Whatever narcissist you were thinking about in the past, or perhaps you're thinking about now, you may think, well, hey, you're the only person that has identified that that person is a toxic individual. Not so fast. Believe me when I tell you, many times the immediate family of the narcissist, A, either are narcissists, or B, know that that one is a narcissist or a toxic individual, whatever you want to call them. I'm not a doctor, I'm not labeling, I'm just letting you know that it's not just you who sees the behavior, but perhaps it's you that takes action and removes yourself from the relationship. That's the strength. That's where the abundance happens. That's where the growth happens. That's where the magic happens. That's where doors happen. 1 minute longer in a narcissistic relationship, 1 minute in a narcissistic relationship is 1 minute longer than anyone should be in one. Specifically, if you've identified that this person does not have your best interest at heart, they don't care about you, they don't love you, they want nothing to do but take away your beautiful bright light. When you get that message, The path is to remove yourself. It sincerely is, if you have the ability. Now, again, you may be saying, well, Andrew, wait, there's a lot of people like that in my life. What do I do? I'll tell you what to do. Grab a sheet of paper, get a pen and paper, and write a pro-con list about each and every one of them. If it's 3 people, great. If it's 20, even better. But identify, do these people have your best interest at heart? And if they do, great, keep them around. If they don't, then maybe perhaps slowly remove yourself from the relationship. If they're somewhere in the middle, that's fine. But don't share all the information with them. Remember, there are different levels of relationships. Some people, i.e. a healthy spouse, should know almost everything about you. Then let's take the toxic narcissistic spouse. Well, knowing what we know now, they should know little about you. Yeah, well, I know you're saying, well, you're still married. Well, you're married, but you're married to a narcissist, someone who's trying to take advantage of you. Believe me when I tell you. You want them to know the least amount about you as possible. And the whole idea here is understand what you're up against. You're up against somebody who cannot lay off the gas pedal. They need to hammer you and bring you down into the quagmire where they vibrate. That's what they want. That's where they thrive. That's where they live. They don't live on a high vibrational level like you. They wanted to take your beautiful, bright light, your positive energy, and they did succeed for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. But once you understand what you're up against, no. You need to have boundaries. You can't be a people pleaser. You need to understand that your energy is for yourself and for those loved and trusted ones around you that you want to contribute to. You cannot be an uneducated empath any longer. I created a video called The Educated Empath months ago. Watch it. Watch it often. What it means is now that you have the wisdom on my channel and you have gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, you understand that your empathy is worth its weight in gold times 1,000, because not many people have empathy. And someone that has empathy, or a high level of it, I should say, and they've gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, this is now a human being on super steroids who's galvanized to the 10th degree, because you now can turn your empathy on and off. Whereas in the past, before the narcissistic relationship, your empathy was just flowing like a river. You gave it to anybody. We don't do that any longer. We don't. We now save our energy for ourselves. We contribute back to relationships when our cup is full, when we want to, not because we are told to. Get the message. So guys, the narcissist, they will always overplay their hand. It's a matter of time, believe me when I tell you. What they're banking on when they do overplay their hand is A, for you to overlook it, B, make excuses for them, C, oh, it's just them, no big thing. But D, they never think you will say, that's one too many. I'm out. Goodbye. Have a good life. God bless you. Talk to me never. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.